And first, we now had an answer to that. Cole Kmet signs a 4-year, $50 million extension with the Chicago Bears with $32.8 million guaranteed. Me, Bobby, Stevo, we're gonna break it all down right after this.
Now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, y'all. Cole Kmet gets paid $50 million over 4 years. This makes him a top 10 paid tight end in the game of football at an average salary of $12.5 million per year. I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. How you guys feeling about the deal?
I'm feeling great about the deal. I'm happy that the man got his money, and the deal is, it looks pretty damn good to me, especially that he's gonna get some money right up front, and then you got the guaranteed money left. And I believe appears on that back end is gonna be some more money freed up again. And Ryan Poles continues to construct these contracts in a way that makes sure that the future is good, just like the present is being secured. So shout out to Poles, because this is something that we had to get done for sure.
Yeah, I was one of the first people. I said, yeah, he's gonna be the first people, probably the first person to get paid because I just seen the jump. I knew the jump in touchdowns. He had, I believe, no touchdowns last year, and jumped to 7 this past season. So I was like, yeah, that's gonna be willing to get a contract because one thing is, a lot of tight ends that don't get touchdowns. So for him to get 7 was pretty good. Finished with about over 500 yards reception. I mean, that's worth around that type of money. And then, like you said, it works in the back end. It helps us out a lot. But yeah, I kind of seen this happening. I knew he was probably gonna be one of the first, if not the first, which he was.
Yeah, I mean, the Daily just yesterday, the title of the Daily yesterday was Will Cole Kmet and the Chicago Bears work out a contract extension during training camp? 2 days in the training camp, they figure it out. I think when you look at the growth of Cole Kmet, how prioritized he's going to be in the offense as well this year, how he's grown into becoming one of Justin Fields' favorite weapons, and the fact that the free agent market with tight ends is not that deep this upcoming year, so you couldn't really replace him meaningfully. All that worked out on top of the white rhino being the goddamn white rhino. Let's be clear here. He's a goddamn beast. And so he deserves all of this. And I've been saying, Bobby will be able to attest to, I've been saying almost all offseason. I feel like this is the year where people start recognizing that Cole Kmet is one of the best tight ends in the game of football. And Ryan Poles paid him like he also expects him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also goes out to those people that think Ron Britannia was going to take his job. Not happening.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, I like Robert Tanya, but I still think that Cole Kmet is definitely right there ahead of him. But I like it simply. Another reason I like it is because Cole Kmet's still a young guy. And this right here just continue to allow these young players among this team to just grow up all together. And we already know if these guys start building, some continuity and become a cohesive unit and be able to put some, results on the board, we could see a nice little run. We don't know what that run entails. I'm not going to jump out and say Super Bowl, but they could definitely start to contend as these guys continue to mature. So that's why that's another reason why I like it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest question was going to be the number, right? Could they come to a number that they agreed on? And I honestly looked at after surveying kind of what the tight ends are being paid, I thought he'd sign for something between like $9 and $10 million. But I'm not mad at that contract at all. And if he continues to excel and grow like in the way that keep in mind, Luke Getcha using, we weren't even that much of a passing offense last year. And the yardage that he got with the touchdowns, you can easily see that going up considerably, especially now with having DJ Moore out there as well, how that's going to free up some things with Cole Kmet to be able to be used in the middle and things like that. So I don't see this as an overpay at all. I feel like this is a very fair deal. And I think when it's all said and done, Cole Kmet is going to more than live up to this deal.
Yeah, especially with the scheme coming in now, he's gonna be way more free up. I know some people's gonna get at him. Like I know there's a lot of people out in the YouTube land that's not the hugest fans of him because he's not as physical. He's not a blocker, motherfucker. He's not an O lineman either. So I don't. I think that's what gives credit to him playing so well is that he still got 500 being damn near a right tackle out there.
Yeah.
Pretty
He was pretty
much.
much guarding some of the best DNs out there, and he can't block. Yeah, he actually can block. He just don't want to block them big motherfuckers. That's not what he want to do. So when him and Robert, if they go a bunch heavy twin set, hey, they can eat. Both of them can eat, and he's definitely going to eat because that's what he wants to do. He wants to run professional routes, and that's what he come from tight end U.
Yeah, that
Well,
damn.
one of tight end uses two of them, but that's one of
Yeah,
tight end U. So for sure.
that damn 12 personnel package should be sweet for sure. And I just think that Haize, you mentioned it, with having DJ Moore on the outside, now defense has got to choose who we gonna double. You
Yeah.
can't you better choose wisely on whatever play you decide that you about to double somebody, because you can either go on the outside or now you can come on in the inside with a guy who can go ahead and make some big plays for sure.
I'm
I'm
telling
all
you right
for
now,
it.
you better not double none of us, because if you double somebody, you just gonna see a skinny motherfucker just down this field, just gone. Double if you want this. We too fast for that now.
For real
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean, and especially if Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, they're fully healthy. They get back to looking like how they've looked at the top of their careers. That's just like I really do think that people are undervaluing how our receiving game and core overall, and not just the wide receivers. By that I mean catching out the backfield from the tight end position with him and Robert Tonyan. Like, we can have an extreme, and see what you always mention when we talk about football, the bunch set. That could be an extremely dangerous weapon for the
Trying to
Chicago Bears
speak it
next
into
season.
existence. I'm really trying
Let's
to
go,
speak it.
baby.
Because
Let's
if
go.
they use that, it just give you. It's almost having an extra receiver out there. Because Robert out there, he knows out of everybody in him and EQ know this offense front and back, cover to cover. So he know
Fact.
every single route. He know how to run it. All it's about is game chemistry with Justin. And if you run that in two big ass tight ends that nobody wants to tackle,
Look
hey,
out,
Let's even talk
baby.
about wants to
Pettis could
tackle.
have a year because of that.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
it's not even if you want to tackle them. You can't, especially if Cole Kmet gets a head of speed on you, bro. There's very few people that can tackle Cole Kmet in the open field,
Right.
bro.
Bro,
And so,
it was that Atlanta catch for me.
oh
When that
yeah,
motherfucker caught it
that's
with one
right.
hand and got drilled in the knee, it popped right back up. I said, oh, yeah, he gonna be here a while.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Now we got some comments. We're gonna go to a few of them, not a huge much. James Jamison says, I think Johnson should have got paid first. I don't
Eh,
agree with that at all, bro.
eh.
Johnson got some things to prove. Yes, he's still young, still solid. I don't subscribe to what a lot of people do but he doesn't get interceptions. I still don't necessarily think he should get out paid before Cole Kmet.
That's fair.
Nah.
And I think that's because you got to tailor to the offensive side of the football right now. And I think that, like I said before, the Bears, they caught up with the times, and Ryan Poe understands that offense got to be solid to win games now.
I also think Jalen is kind of felt victim of how good he was and where he played in college. He played in the Pac-12 in Utah, so motherfuckers wasn't throwing towards him. And it was like
Mhm.
that when he got to the league until the last few years when quarterbacks started baiting him. And was like, all right, we're gonna see what he got. And he been getting got. So now that he's applied that, people are applying that pressure, he needs to step up more, in my opinion, before he gets paid. So this is the year. It's a contract year. I expect him to ball out.
Agreed.
Yeah. And for every we had a couple of commenters that say things like, "Oh, I don't think Ryan Poles is going to extend anybody who's not his guy." This goes to prove that wrong. Like, you don't just like that. I think that whole thing is overblown. That a lot of fans come in that, but he didn't draft him. That's not his guy. It's like, listen, if you talented, you gonna get paid. Ain't nobody gonna look a
Right.
talented player in the face and say, "Listen, you're talented, but because I didn't draft you, I ain't got nothing for you." That's stupid.
Yeah, that don't make sense. And I kind of get it, because that's what the national media pans to a lot, especially when it came to the quarterback discussion. But
Mhm.
just like you said, Ryan Poles, if he sees value, you gonna get paid and you gonna be around.
Yeah, that's just Facebook trying to sound smart talk, in my opinion. To me, it really is because like half of these they don't believe that because if you look at they've traded people they done been there for 12 years and be like, "Ah, you ain't good no more. Bye."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's simple as that. If you're good, you stay here. If you're not going to be here. If you're good and you're a problem, you're gone. It's
that's
just
up.
that's how it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Tevin was almost out this month. What do you do? Change his behavior.
And got right.
Yeah, listen, Tevin, one of the most consistent offensive linemen we had last season. So, but yeah, I mean, when it comes down to Ryan Poles, I think people kind of overvalue that his guy, not guy. Like Ryan Poles, it comes down to value. That's it. And if you play good and you guys can come to agreement on a number that he sees value at for the team, he's gonna keep you around, and that's really just what it boils down to.
Facts though. So I'm
Yeah,
all
I
for
agree.
it.
Yeah.
Marcellus says, Haize, what else can JJ do to get his money if we don't play a lot of man-to-man besides getting interceptions? Oh, he's one.
Don't get 180 yards on his ass.
That and the completion percentage on him is highest. It's risen every year for the past 3 years. You got to get that together. And he still gets man-to-man situations. You got to shut that down. His man-to-man coverage numbers have dropped every year since his rookie year too. You got to improve. You got to improve. And the fact of the matter is this, is that there are more high-level cornerbacks coming in the draft every year than what there are tight ends, period. Yeah. And again, it's not just about how you perform. It's also about how can we replace you reasonably with somebody either younger, or can we get more value out of free agents that are out there? I'm sorry. There are cornerbacks out there potentially that could offer better value at a cheaper contract when you look at the draft and other things. I want JJ to stay here, but he's going to have to show it. It's not going to come probably before the season for him. I doubt it.
Yeah, I would say it's gonna be a whole season evaluation on JJ for sure. I believe you have to. You know what I'm saying? Especially if that's the discussion. If he can't make, or if it's not that he can't, is that we haven't seen much of it, of the playmaking. But to add on just real quick, he can get some deflections in there. It's not all about interceptions. Create plays for other.
Facts.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I think if I'm a GM, I have too many. Because I know, just me personally, I just know he gonna come out and ask for some good money. I already know. Mm-hmm. And if I'm posed, I have too many boxes that I could put in front of him and be like, okay, you're not doing this. You're becoming injury prone. Like you said, the last 3 seasons, he's become injury prone. The last 3 seasons, he's been targeted more, and he's got one of the most highest completion rates on him. That's not good. And you want to be a number 1 cornerback, hey, it's a Sauce Gardner born every 2 years. That's just the reality of this position. It's almost like it's a running back. So nice running back born every year.
Facts.
So it's just hey, you got to if you want to set yourself out. He's not. You're not even one of the best in the division, bro.
And that's a problem. This comment, I don't agree with either. Let's be honest. Kmet is at the same level as Travis Gibson. At this point, we're all down on Gibson, high on Kmet. Kmet, best season with 7 touchdowns. You're comparing touchdowns to sacks, and that's idiotic, first off. Secondly, Cole Kmet has, if impacts the offensive game outside of just trying to whittle his numbers down to touchdowns. Him not getting touchdowns the season before last wasn't on him. It was on idiotic offensive play calling. And let's not also forget what he does in both the blocking game, the catching passes, and freeing up things for the running backs. Like, come on, bro. You got to watch more football and try to whittle it down to those numbers. That's a bad comparison, in my opinion. Go ahead, Steve. I can tell you want to go into it.
You tell me some of the best. Just look up some of the best tight ends in the league and look at their touchdowns and come back to me. They don't get that many touchdowns. So the fact he almost at double digits. We talking about Travis get sacks and touchdowns is completely different one. So the fact that you try to compare that shit is just. I ain't gonna sit there. I call you idiotic. I'm gonna be nice today, but
I was just gonna say, go look at how many games that Justin Fields passed over 200 yards. It ain't many. Exactly. It was plenty times we in a prediction show like, please just go over 225. And so we gotta look at that point too.
He bailed them the hell out too.
Cole Kmet, one of only 4 tight ends to catch over 7 touchdowns last season.
One of
Travis
4
Kelce with 12. So Travis Kelce with 12, George Kittle with 11, Cole Kmet with 7, and Jaylon Johnson with 7. That's it. That's the reason.
But he shouldn't get paid first. Okay. The biggest jump in his position, if you want to be technical, on that team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy, and to say that they're at the same level is retarded. I'm sorry, you can't say that word nowadays. Well, there goes the monetization. Oh, that's it. They got
it's your fault. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's it. I'll send you guys a check for it. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. I messed up on that one. I'll take that.
I felt it because that was just a very. I'm sorry. We ain't trying to come at you, dog, but that was a stupid comment, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Big Kev in the building says the Bears in the red zone will be very problematic for opposing defenses. I'm very excited for this
I
upcoming
agree.
season.
It's gonna be so
Absolutely.
many options in that red zone.
Bro,
So many.
hey, I can't wait to the first game because I just can't wait to see all the audibles and look at 24. Hey, check over the hey, watch one because if he ran left, bro,
On
it's
the
too
real.
much.
That's another thing. We
It's too much
talk
you gotta
about
look at.
how that could be used to evaluate Justin Fields' growth and grasp as an offense. Like I'd have to look at the statistics, but to my knowledge, Justin Fields didn't really change the plays a lot at the
Right.
line. We heard in OTAs that Justin Fields is feeling so comfortable, he's changing plays at the line of scrimmage. Do not be surprised if you see that part of Justin Fields' game grow a lot
That'd
this
be
season as
awesome.
well.
That'd
You
be
just
awesome for him.
it's very because that's one thing you got to put into context. Like you can't expect people used to be killing me with that. Like he ain't changing no plays. I'm like, mother, it's his first year in the damn offense, and if you don't know this offense, it's very complex. You
Yeah,
can go to Aaron Rodgers and said it took him a minute to learn it.
For
So
sure.
that's
the
a fact.
fact that you wanted a second year guy, basically a number one guy, to come in and to just be Peyton Manning is ridiculous.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, guys, got to get ready to wrap it up. I do unfortunately work a day job. I got to get back to
Me
my
too.
job. Any
Yeah.
last thoughts before we get up out of here, fellas?
Hey, you should have seen it coming. I told y'all he was gonna be one of the first ones signed. Hey, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even being cocky. I'm just being right because I just pay attention I just pay attention to shit. That's all you gotta do is
Right.
pay attention, baby.
Hey, it just is what it is, man. Shout out to Cole Kmet getting your money. I think Darnell Mooney is up next.
Most
That's a
likely.
fact. Yeah, I still Darnell may get it before the start of the season, depending on how preseason goes. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll see.
I say
You think it's gonna be the end of season thing?
maybe mid. Maybe mid.
Maybe
I just think they just there's a lot of things they're worried about. They
Yeah,
like this mud got bigger. We don't know if he gonna be fast. We don't know about that ankle. It's just a lot of things they got a lot of questions about.
I'm with you. I don't think it might not happen in training camp, but I think he the next play up though.
that's
On
fair.
some bye
That's
week
fair.
shit.
Well, y'all make sure y'all go and follow Stevo at Stevo Speaks on everything. Y'all can go follow Bobby and C Dub over at Chi-Town. I'm sorry, Chi-Town. Shy Bulls podcast with the
They
Cognac
damn
Boys at Close to
channels.
4K. Y'all make sure y'all go and support them over there. But as you know, we like to end everything here with Chi-Town up and shots and Chi-Town up. Because take a shot for White Rhino getting his money
Damn.
and bear down.
It ain't
Love you
even
guys.
noon. Shit.
Peace, y'all. It's noon where I am. I'm definitely taking a shot. Peace.